Welcome to Tony's Bonsai. Today I'm working on the rest of the nursery stock that I bought on my trip to Blundell nurseries the other day. I'm going to start off with this, I think it's called a firecrest. There were two reasons I chose this plant. It's got these wonderfully coloured leaves that are a sort of maroon colour with a pink edge. But the main reason was this fantastic trunk. I really like the shape of this. It's got some good thickness, it looks like it's got nice roots and plenty of options in the branching. I really like this branch that comes off here that sort of tapers up. I think that works really well. I've got to do something with this thicker section here. But my first issue are these bar branches. One of them has to go. And I think I'm going to make that decision, thinking about it, after I've made my decisions further up the tree. Because I can remove either of these, it's dead easy. This branch here is the major decision. I could completely remove it, which would add a nice taper, or I could leave this as the main trunk, and sort of this is a separate trunk coming out of the front. It's got a very thick branch here, so if I don't cut it to this point and turn that into the new trunk, that's got to go realistically. If I left it, say, higher up here, which I will do initially because I definitely won't be having it any higher than this. So I'll just clean that cut up. I've just spent about 5 minutes weighing up this trunk, and the conclusion that I've come to is I can't have this and this. The reason is because if I keep this one, I think I have to cut it down here, and if I cut this here, this trunk and this trunk are almost parallel and it just looks weird, so I don't like that option. So I need to make a decision. I can have my trunk coming up and zigging across like that, which I do quite like, and again I'm going to cut it just to take a look first to see. So I'll take that off. So that would now be the new trunk line, which is quite pleasing. I do quite like it. However, this trunk tapers down a bit more, which I like, and then it comes towards the camera also, which I think works well. So it seems slightly more graceful than this. Again, even as I'm filming this, I'm kind of unsure as to what to do and which is going to make the more interesting tree long term. If I select this, I think I'll have to change the planting angle, which is not a problem, and then I can remove this front branch because that'll be pointing right at me, whereas these other branches can become sort of back branches to add depth. But then again, that can also happen if I remove this, and in fact if I remove this, these sit in with the design better. So I'll remove this front branch because I've now decided that this is definitely going. That's gone. So if I had this as kind of the front, with these branches coming out like that, I kind of, now I'm liking this. I think it fits in better with these three branches, with these other two branches there, which has made my decision for me. And I'm going to remove it. So that was quite drastic, but I'm pleased with that now. From this slightly higher viewpoint now, you can see more of what I was talking about in terms of the structure of the tree with these branches, and this is the main trunk. I'm going to remove this small one because, in fact no, I'm going to leave it on for the health of the plant. It's not doing anything, it won't cause any inverse tape because it's so skinny. and I'll just leave that for the time being while these wounds heal over and this gets healthy again. Before I move on to the other trees, I've just added some cut paste, and you might be thinking that doesn't look like a bonsai tree to me, and it doesn't, but that's not the point at this stage. The whole idea of it is that I'm trying to set this tree up for the future, to have nice movement, nice lines, nice sort of composition of branches, and I'm quite pleased with that. I think that's going the right way. That'll just be put to the side now. It'll be watered and fed and left, and I'll take a look at it next year. So let's crack on. If you saw the first video, you'll have seen me working on an Elaeagnus. This is the second one. It's a bit of a weird one, so let's take a closer look. First thing first with this, we've got a completely dead branch. There's nothing alive about that, so let's get that gone. Excellent. So the base is quite wobbly. I'm going to have to do something with that later on, but I want to look at the shape of the trunk first. It's got a few dead branches, this one, and I suspect the reason it's not doing well, and the reason that they were basically giving it away, is because it's been moving about in the pot, and it's just not sort of healthy, really. It's not doing well. So I've got rid of all that dead stuff. I've got a feeling this branch here is on the edge of dying, but I'll leave it for the time being. In fact, this is one of those examples where, having removed all the dead stuff, there's really no decisions to be made. What I have to do is I have to return this to some decent health first, and then I can look at designing it in the future. But for now, there's really nothing to do. I don't want to cut any more leaves off. Anything that's viable, I want to leave for the health of the plant. What I'm going to do is just add more soil, really. Nice free draining compost mix around those lower roots. Hopefully this branch survives, and then it's got some quite nice structure up at the top, and it's got some good options, so I hope it makes it. There's really, as I say, there's nothing more to do now. Onwards and upwards. This final plant is a berberis. It's called Thunbergi Atropurpurea Red Chief. It's got some wonderful maroon leaves, and I've been wanting to work on a berberis for quite a while, so as I always say, let's take a closer look. This plant had quite a lot of moss and weeds around the base. In terms of the actual structure of the tree, it's got quite a large lump up here, and I think that's better being removed, so I'll take that off. It's at this point that I like to deal with things like potential inverse taper. You know, I don't want to be dealing with that down the line. I'd rather sort that out now, and then going forward I can sort of improve the design over the years. So that's gone. There's a potential for inverse taper where these two branches are coming out from that point, so I'm going to remove that branch as well. It was just coming from the wrong place, that. So it's like a twin, it's going to be potentially a twin trunk. I'm just trying to clean up the lines a bit. There we go. So, twin trunk, sloping over to one side. Nice. There was really nothing to do on this tree, the same as the previous one, and I would have liked it if there'd been some more styling work, but thanks for sticking around if you've watched this whole video. At least the point I suppose that I could make is that often when you're buying young nursery stock, it's just a question of cleaning them up, trying to get them healthy, let them grow, and then we'll be able to work on them in the future. But I've enjoyed putting together this little two-part series, and my main sort of hope will be to inspire people to go out to your local garden centre, pick something that looks like it's got a nice trunk, a bit of taper, some potential, put it in the old trolley or the basket or whatever, and have a go yourself. Nothing to stop you. So if you want to follow the progress of these trees, you know what to do. Apart from that, thanks for joining me and have a great day. See you soon.